I will have nothing, for I will not marry without affection, like my mother.
And now I have to dig my own damn potatoes!
Jane was born into a poor preacher's family. She was blessed with stunning beauty. She loved writing and had a natural talent for it. This was one of the things Jane was most proud of. But recently her pride was crushed by a man's disdain. One day while Jane was reading a blessing for her engaged sister, in the midst of her speech, the door was suddenly barged open, and the man showed no intention of apologizing for his rude behavior.
May I introduce my young nephew, Mr. Thomas Lefroy?
Roy was a useless lawyer from the big city. His uncle the judge sent him to the countryside to reflect on his actions. Clearly Roy looked down on the people here. He was dozing off during Jane's speech, and even criticized her writing behind her back. Jane stormed upstairs, flipping through her previous works, and began to feel that Roy's words hit too close to home. She tore apart the pages in her hands. The proud Jane couldn't bear to accept the opinion of such a rude person. But what Jane didn't know was that it was precisely this rude man who would help her create step by step her great works full of romance and reality. Then at the ball, Jane's dance partner stepped on her skirt. In that awkward moment she looked up and saw Roy. Jane, frustrated all day, had no one to vent to. So she started complaining to her brother about Roy's rudeness and prejudice. She didn't know that Roy was standing right behind her. When she turned around, her face turned bright red with embarrassment.
I would regard it as a mark of extreme favor if you would stoop to honor me with this next dance.
Jane was a bit surprised. Roy didn't seem upset at all. At least he acted like a gentleman in that regard. As the music played, the two of them seemed to be in perfect harmony on the dance floor. But in reality their words were sharp and full of tension, neither of them willing to back down. But neither of them realized they were starting to enjoy this equal challenge. Roy quickly adapted to life here. He kept winning in the cricket matches, and Jane couldn't stand seeing Roy's smug face. She took the bat and walked onto the field. When Roy saw Jane as his opponent, he instinctively became complacent. He pretended to give his all, but at the last second before the serve he let go of the power in his hands. Jane's perfect hit changed the course of the game. It also made Roy look at her in a new light. She was indeed different from other women. Was it a coincidence or intentional? That day Jane went to the library to find some books, and coincidentally ran into Roy, who was reading there. Jane tried to quietly leave, but Roy called her out, and this time Roy finally pointed out the flaws in her writing.
If you wish to practice the art of fiction, to be the equal of a masculine author, experience is vital.
His words hit the mark. Jane knew he was right, but she was curious about how he had figured it out. Roy didn't answer. He simply recommended a book to her. As Jane read through the lines of the book, she became completely immersed in it, unable to stop herself. Compared to her own work, this book was more grounded in reality. She stayed up all night, and it seemed like Jane finally understood what Roy was trying to tell her.